Here are the top 10 comments of the week on our digital platforms, as selected by our readers and the journalists who moderate nearly every comment. Some comments were edited for length and clarity. Aaron P. Bernstein, Reuters. A year after Trump, Democratic gains. 1. Trump has poked the bear. I'm not talking about North Korea or Iran. We the people are out of hibernation. From the time of the election, through the Women's March, to today, our winter as sleepy citizens is over. Women, people of color, people of any ethnicity, heck, any human being who believes in justice, integrity, the rule of law, and the heart of our country itself will not stand for what Trump is trying to do. Lindap, Boston, reacting to an article about American suburbs appearing to be in revolt against President Trump, based on the results of Tuesday's election. Eduardo Munoz Alvarez. Getty Images. 2. It's news when Democrats win where they should have won all along. Really, liberals are in for disappointment in 2018. The policies haven't changed. It's still identity politics and class warfare. Until Democrats decide to sideline their elitist zealots and elect more centrist candidates, Tuesday's results will be an aberration. Jesse the Conservative, Orleans, VT. The New York Times. Louis C.K. is accused of sexual misconduct. 3. I am a 19-year-old stand-up comedian in college. Louis C.K. was the first comedian I ever really had. I had heard rumors, but I always pushed them to the back of my mind. This is like finding out that Santa Claus is a serial killer, or that Head and Shoulders shampoo is made from kitten bones or something. Max, Boston, reacting to an article about the comedian Louis C.K. being accused by 5 women of overstepping professional bounds by masturbating in front of them. Larry W. Smith, European Press Photo Agency. Gunman kills 26 at rural Texas church. 4. As a 3-tour combat vet of Iraq, I have used semi-automatic and automatic weapons in the defense of my nation to fight the war on terrorism. We shouldn't have to attend church with a concealed carry just to worship the deity of our choice. Instead of calling for thoughts and prayers, we should be calling for action to solve this national crisis where we feel the right to bear arms is more sacred than life itself. Damon Walton, Clarksville, Tennessee, reacting to an article about Devin Patrick Kelly killing 26 of people at a Texas church using a military-style rifle. B. Beto Mathus, Associated Press. 5. The guy who stopped this lunatic was a card-carrying member of the National Rifle Association. In New York, we're still reeling from that horrific attack where a crazed driver mowed down tourists and bike riders armed only with a truck he rented from Home Depot. Anything can be turned into a weapon for some nefarious purpose. Sharon 5101, Rockaway Beach, NY. Brian Thomas for the New York Times on Twitter. 280 is the new 1406. Blah 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 blah. 280 characters. At Jack should have left it at 140. At Girl via Twitter, reacting to an article about Twitter's announcement that nearly all of its 330 million users would now be able to tweet with 280 characters. Jeffrey Salter X Diana Nyad on life after sexual assault. 7. I'm 74 and I still am not over it. My abuse happened when I was 4 years old until I was 7 years old. I felt ashamed. I tried to tell my mother. I am afraid of men. The message I want to convey is that it is never over. I have been alone for over 40 years and I will die alone. Nancy, Massachusetts, reacting to an opt by the endurance swimmer Diana Nyad about her experience of UAL abuse by coach, and the value of speaking out. Nicholas Hunt. Getty Images. Valerie Macon, via Agence France Presse. Getty Images. Pool photo by Arthur Edwards. How Titans, Stars and Rolls Hide the Wealth. 8. If you already have more money than you, your children, and your children can spend in a lifetime and you still want to save an extra million, you are just a bad human being. Big corporations and the uber-wealthy receive the most benefits from society. After all, we, society, are what made them rich to begin with. Instead of acknowledging that, they want tax cuts and tax havens so they can accumulate more money. Honestly, they're just absolutely despicable. S.H. Virginia, reacting to an article about the Paradise Papers, which illustrate how the wealthiest people, who control 90% of the world's wealth, use offshore tax havens to avoid paying taxes. Silver, a family boy, 3, dies after eating grilled cheese at Prec 9. My son has severe dairy allergy and so many people are incredibly clueless about it. One of the most frequent responses I get after explaining to people that my son cannot have dairy is, "It's gluten-free." Carissa Jean Rosenfield on the Times Facebook page, reacting to an article about the death of 3-year-old Elijah Silva, who was served a grilled cheese sandwich despite a known allergy. Eman Hassan for the New York Times at the Met Opera, a note that's never been sung 10. Obviously, you haven't heard my toddler. Kyle Key on the Times Facebook page, reacting to an article about the soprano Audrey Luna singing the A above high C in Thomas Adès The Exterminating Angel at the Metropolitan Opera.